Hi, my name is Phil Malin. I'm the Executive Director for Illinois Citizens Against Lawsuit Abuse. I'm here at H&M Manufacturing in Wauconda talking with a local small business owner, manufacturer, and a couple state representatives, Tom Weber and Marty McLaughlin, about how tort abuse, lawsuit abuse, is really making it more difficult for small businesses in Illinois and also every single person in Illinois to thrive and prosper to their potential. Today we released our annual economic impact report. We've hired an economist to evaluate and put some numbers behind the cost of lawsuit abuse in Illinois and in the Chicagoland region. And the results are pretty shocking. The study shows that every resident in the Chicagoland area could get an extra almost $2,500 a year if the legislature in Springfield woke up a little bit and passed meaningful, comprehensive tort reform. There's a tort tax of almost $2,500 a year on every single person in our state, and it's increasing. It's $150 more, I think, than it was just last year.
It's great to see local businesses that are really providing employment for people in the region and giving them lifelong careers. As a business owner myself, I am hugely appreciative of people that take the risk every day to come to work, provide a safe work environment, and provide a quality product for the region. So very impressed with my tour.
It's really important to have our state representatives as much as possible, just so they understand what it is that we do, the challenges that we face, and bringing some real empathy and understanding. There's a lot of different things that go on that don't necessarily get brought across. So from a perspective of taxes, property taxes, increases in materials, energy costs, wage costs, everything really kind of compacts, and the more that you can get them to understand and see firsthand and meet your actual people out in the community and what they're going through, I think the better it is for not just the state representatives and bills, but also for the state itself.
I learned, first of all, what an amazing job Nicole does, and the people that work here and the manufacturing. It's pretty amazing to be able to see this stuff. Not something that I've ever actually saw before. A lot of milling of steel and stuff, and it's pretty cool. I think it's an awesome opportunity as a legislator to be able to hear what those costs are. How much our energy costs are, how much just the cost of wages, the cost of workman's compensation. We hear this all the time in Springfield. How it's oftentimes cheaper to do business in other states, and that's why we need to be informed on what goes on and how these things affect our local businesses to make sure we can continue to be a state that is welcoming to our small business owners, because we know that most of our constituents across my district anyway work for small businesses. Not, people always envision these big massive companies, but it's not. It's small companies owned by people like Nicole. And their number one concern is making sure to take care of their employees, but also to deliver a product for cost.
The representatives Weber and McLaughlin were really talking about, and I think they appreciated this opportunity to talk with small manufacturer, is they would really like to see more legislatures in the majority party actually get to know small businesses. I think the idea is that a lot of these people have never even been to a manufacturer, never even talked to business owners in their district. They're taking their orders from political people, from lobbyists, and they're not really connected too closely to their constituents. And so they're passing laws that they don't really understand, that are having dramatic impacts, negative impacts on not only the businesses in their district, but the people who work at those businesses. As it gets more expensive to do business, we're going to see less employment, and people in their districts are going to start having a hard time finding jobs.
We've got to be competitive in all things. We're not just Illinois, we're in the Midwest region, and Nicole put it best when she said policies that Illinois put in place, she doesn't want them to be barriers, she wants them to be helpful in how she can compete. And I think that some of the things we passed this session, workman's comp, a number of tort issues, really drives the cost up for a business like H&M. And I want policies that are pro-business, that allow small businesses to be more competitive so they can grow in Illinois. That's the objective here, right? We grow the working base, we can grow the tax base, versus shrinking the working base and increasing the taxes of those that are left. So I think Nicole's got some valid reasons for concern, but we're going to try to speak plainly and simply to those on the other side of the aisle and try to get them to understand that risk takers need their help. barriers to competition is not what we need. We need helpful policies.
So I think, you know, when you're dealing with small companies and you hear the impact of fuel, that, you know, well, you know, people don't think that, you know, okay, $1 a gallon is that big a difference, but when you're transporting merchandise across straight lines, you know, that becomes thousands of dollars in impact, and that ends up in an increase in cost for all the products that we have to offer here. The other thing, again, workman's compensation, you know, that's a direct impact on every employee and every employer. I think just getting to hear firsthand, you know, from our small businesses, what we can do as legislators to be more cognizant of what exactly, you know, we can do to help them at the same time, you know, and what they can do to help us understand better what they do. Well, so, you know, I think the one thing that, you know, we see continually, and I've argued this in Springfield, a great example is the current bill that stopped the slating of candidates in the state of Illinois. You cannot change the process on how people are running for office in elections in the middle of the game, right? And we know this, there's already lawsuits right now in court. And this is a direct cost to the taxpayers, you know, in Illinois. And we've seen this time and time again, that, you know, our administration in Springfield and the legislature passes bills that we know are going to end up in court. You know, you know, it's one of those things that I wish we didn't do, but it happened.
Yeah. I think it's really difficult as a business owner. Obviously, I have to deal with my own issues and problems on a daily basis, which is like running a manufacturing company, getting product out. And when you have to really now be cognizant of other lawsuits that could possibly damage not just your company's reputation, but also the business in general, those are things that I really don't want to have to deal with, not just from a financial standpoint, but I already have enough to deal with. So to kind of have to add that now piece, that another layer of what I have to be responsible for as a business owner on top of it, is really time consuming, and already time that I don't have. So that would mean I'd have to hire someone on the side to kind of review all these types of issues. And that's costly. And so when you think about being competitive in a competitive world, because we're not just here in the state, it's global, especially for manufacturing. That also adds another layer to it that you have to pay, and that ultimately your customer doesn't want to have to pay for those types of prices.
Well, and Nicole brings up a great point, is so many things in regards to time off, in regards to vacation, in regards to benefits that change literally on a year-to-year basis in Springfield. You can't expect a busy business owner to continually watch what is Springfield doing, you know, that's going to directly impact my business. And just because, you know, you're not familiar with something that just got passed, end up in a lawsuit, I mean, that is just wrong. You know, we have to be, you know, take things a little slower, make sure we understand what exactly those impacts are, and, you know, start treating our business owners as part of the family in Illinois.
Oh my gosh, thank you.